Alrighty, guys. What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone is doing good. Happy Eclipse Eve, I guess. Hope you guys are doing all right. I did fix my my software now, or my thing that I was having problems with yesterday. Was preventing me from changing scenes efficiently, but that is now solved. But what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Good evening, or I should really say good afternoon to you guys. So yeah, we got ourselves a bit of an upgrade regarding today's threats for severe weather. So let me bring you guys over here to the convective outlook for today. So this is today's risk. Main areas of concern is Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. That is today's concern. As you're going to see here in a little bit on this stream, we're actually expecting multiple days worth of severe weather. The storm prediction already has, like, what, 4 days of 15% risks, or 3 or 4. Regardless, a lot of days of severe weather is up ahead. Unfortunately, one of those days is going to be for the eclipse, especially out there by, like, Texas and stuff. So, yeah, we'll definitely need to keep it out there for that. But anyways, y'all, let's go ahead and take a look here real quickly. At the current moment, we do have a little bit of storms starting to pop off here out there by, like, western Nebraska. Nothing severe currently, just a little line of storms here. There's a little bit of lightning detection on there too, so these storms is starting to kind of kick off here. So yeah, we got these storms that are popping off now. They're not really expected to really blow up until a couple hours from now. This is kind of just more of a little bit more of a heads up stream for you guys regarding the severe weather potential. But anyways, yeah, let me go ahead and bring y'all over here real quickly. We're gonna hop y'all over to this screen so I can go ahead and show you guys the outlook. So this is our convective outlook here. We got ourselves that slight risk. So the greatest probability for today, regarding the potential for severe weather, the greatest probability is going to be out there towards, like, central southern Nebraska, portions out there by, like, central, kind of north central Kansas. That's kind of where the best probability regarding severe weather is going to be here for today. We do got some, somewhat populated areas included. It's just west of Topeka, out there by, like, Salina, Concordia, working our way to Nebraska towards, like, Grand Island, Lexington, Broken Bow. Just some of those regions out there is in the greatest, concern. The threat, like I was saying, the level 1, once again, the scale goes from 1 to 5. The level 1 goes, like I said, level 1 is the lowest threat for severe weather, but it's still a threat. It is still a risk regarding damaging storms. So you shouldn't just ignore it. I mean, you definitely still need to be very much weather aware in these regions here. Definitely still need to watch out there for it. But yeah, so then we have, like, Oklahoma City included, Tulsa, just in that little threat today. But once again, the main concern is going to be out there toward, like, central southern Nebraska and portions up there towards, like, central kind of northeastern side of Kansas. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and work our way over here to tornado probs. We do have an upgrade. Our greatest potential for tornadoes is actually going to be there for, like, southern portions of, or kind of south central Nebraska. That's where the greatest probability regarding tornadoes today is going to be. So if you live out there in Nebraska by, like, North Platte, I think, maybe Plate. I don't think it's Plate, but I have no idea how you pronounce that. We have, like, Arnold, let's see, Lexington, Kearney, I think it is, Pleasanton, Loop City, Broken Bow, Arnold. Yeah, so some of those regions there is in that 5% risk regarding tornadoes. So that's going to be the greatest probability, but the tornado risk goes all the way down, once again, through Oklahoma, just shy of Oklahoma City. This goes through Tulsa. Now, like I said, if you're in a dark green, it's really not an area to worry about. I wouldn't worry about and stress over tornadoes. I mean, given the fact that there is a possibility, there is a very small chance, of an isolated tornado or two, really just across this whole area. Whenever it comes to it here, for one specific region to get a tornado, the odds are ridiculously low. They are super, super low. And honestly, like I was saying, it's really nothing to stress over or anything like that. Now, I mean, obviously keep an eye on the weather, because, there's a good possibility that we still could get a couple tornadoes in the whole area as a combined, in which, unfortunately, it's a possibility that some of those could end up in some towns. So like I was saying, yeah, just make sure that, you just keep keep weather aware, but just know it's not like a big tornado threat for those areas. But, the 5% risk area, it's a relatively small zone. It's just a little greater probability for tornadoes because, what's going on here is we got ourselves a very strong low pressure system, actually positioned right over like northeastern Colorado, like southeastern Wyoming, moving, really shooting up a lot of warm air up into like Kansas and Nebraska right now. So that system is, just driving the wind shear and driving the conditions that are needed for the potential for tornadoes. And it just so happens the greatest probability is going to be across some of those areas in the brown. Once again, like Lexington, Kearney, North, let's see here, what is it? North Platte. In which, you can actually see that those storms starting to fire off there. But once again, these guys aren't severe right now. They're relatively, I don't think they're expected to be severe for a while. Let me pull up the models here. We'll pull up the HRRR with you guys just to kind of get a look at things. Oh, we got a new model run coming through. Let's try this one. Okay, so the model, oh wow. You know what? Those are actually firing off earlier than anticipated. Yeah, so this is the HRRR run. This was showing 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4. It wasn't right. Yeah, right around 4 p.m. is whenever those storms were expected to fire. It's now 2 o'clock, and interesting. Yeah, they're starting to fire. But like I was saying, currently they are not severe. Let's go and work our way over here a little bit more towards the region. I'm going to bring up my fancy radar here. So, but yeah, no, it's crazy because oh, wow, those winds are starting to increase, too. Look at that. Look at those wind barbs. Wow, 40, 50 knots. Holy cow, that's some really strong northerlies in our lower atmosphere. Anyways, so, let's pull up the radar here and see what we got going on. The thermodynamics right now, like our dew point is, like, in the 40s. So, honestly, it's really not in a super crazy environment right now, but that'll increase it, with time. But yeah, there it is. It's firing off here. Once again, I mean, I don't see any rotation. Once again, it's not very strong. It's not very strong storms. It's just, there could be a little bit of lightning in it, but honestly, right now it's kind of weak. It's not really a really strong storm yet. But that'll change. That'll obviously change. But yeah, no, bottom line is it is firing off a little bit earlier than expected, which is a little interesting. So you got this line forming here. Let me actually bring you all over the satellite. I want to kind of see if we got any views on the sat view. Oh, wow, we do. Okay, look at this. So here's satellite view. You can see that line right there developing. Let me pull up some surface observations here, station plots. Oh yeah, our dew points are ridiculously low. Like we're in the 40s, the 40-degree dew points. I mean, lower 40s even. Temperatures are also pretty low. Yeah, so these guys more than likely are just elevated storms, and I don't think they're really going to be too much of a problem for now. But obviously as we continue to have daylight heating and as the sun continues to blast the surface, it'll heat things up a bit. So later on today, that should increase the favorability for those storms to really get going. But yeah, so we'll definitely be watching out there for it. Like I said, this stream is more of like a this stream is more like a update for you guys regarding things. But yeah, so back over here to the risk. So once again, 2% tornado threat going down towards like Oklahoma, all the way up here towards Nebraska with a little 5% region. Now, when it comes to hail, we do got ourselves a 15% risk for hail, the risk, the level 1 risk, or the 5% chance. We got ourselves, that risk going all the way down to south central Oklahoma, right on the border actually between Texas and Oklahoma. So that's that hail threat. The greatest probs for hail is going to be out there towards like kind of pretty much like north central Kansas, I'd say. North central Kansas, places out there by like southwestern Nebraska, in this yellow area. So across the region here, if you live somewhere in that yellow, for example, let's just say we live in Salina for an example here. So within 25 miles of Salina, there is a 15% chance that we could get hail, mostly between 1 and 2 inches in diameter. I mean, we're not talking like super crazy hail today, but there is going to be that potential for hail. But yeah, 15% chance of happening within 25 miles of a given location. Same thing for the brown, just a lower probability down to 5%. So we'll use Tulsa for an example. So within 25 miles of Tulsa, on all directions, there's a 5% chance that we could get hail between quarter size and or 1 inch in diameter to 2 inches in diameter. So once again, yeah, not really a huge threat, but the greatest is across the yellow. Now here's where things get a little crazy, y'all. So regarding the winds, it's mostly the same probability, same areas pretty much as the hail threat, with that the greatest potential for damaging winds just really being on where that line really sparks off there. So once again, like central southern portions here of Nebraska, driving into like northeastern, kind of north central Kansas. But there is something on this, y'all. Let me show you this. So we actually have ourselves a significant wind threat. And what that means is that across this area here, regarding damaging winds, there is a probability that we will see these wind gusts over 70 miles an hour. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if we get up into the 80 threshold. I mean, just considering how already strong these lower level winds are, with convection added to it, there's going to be a pretty good amount of damaging winds coming out of these storms here. So the greatest probability for, or really the areas that could see those winds 70 plus, is pretty much there for like the north central side of Kansas, south central side of Nebraska. So some of those areas in Kansas include like Concordia, Washington, Mankato, I think it is, Beloit, Clay Center, Smith Center, and then moving into Nebraska out there by like Blue Hill, Grand Island, Kearney, Ravenna, I think it is, Holdridge, Upland, and Hebron, Fairbury. So yeah, some of those areas out there is in that greatest damaging wind threat, in which, once again, that region there, that's going to be where the greatest probability regarding damaging wind gusts could be. Once again, we're talking 70 plus miles an hour out of some of those storms there. So you definitely, if you have any loose items outside, really just in that wind risk area in general, if you have any loose objects outside, like loose lawn furniture, just anything that can blow around in heavy winds, just bring them indoors until the storm is over with, because, like I said, this storm here, it's pretty strong. It's definitely pretty strong. And you can actually see where that central low is located, just slightly east of Denver. Strong low pressure system really wrapping up here. And, like I was saying, is currently, even though our temperatures are pretty low up here, we are getting a lot of that warm air that's going to start to roll up into the north here, which is going to allow for those dew points, those temperatures to increase to severe favorability by later on this afternoon and this evening. And then, of course, with any typical system, you can actually already see the flow just on radar. Cooler air starts kind of pulling in from the backside. So, where those two intersect, where you do have, your warm air and your cold air intersecting, that is where your cold front would be. And that is obviously where, the potential for those storms will really start to fire off, in which, like I was saying, the storms regarding things are actually firing off a little bit earlier than expected. Not currently anything severe. I mean, obviously right now, the conditions are not super favorable for severe weather, like in the storms at the current moment. If we take a look at it, I mean, the winds are even pretty low. The velocities aren't super crazy, which is good. I mean, which is definitely good. And there's no warnings on it right now and stuff like that. But later on, like I said, as things warm up from the sun, because really, it just turned the afternoon. So for these areas here, things are still obviously heating up, and they're going to continue to do that for the next several hours. But eventually they'll get within threshold and start producing severe weather there. But yeah, main concern, like we were talking about here, guys, is the threat between damaging winds. We'll actually bring over to the SPC's outlook here. So there's our risk area, and the greatest probability regarding like tornadoes, like we were talking about, 5% chance out there in Nebraska, with the risk going all the way down to portions like south central Oklahoma. And look at this. Yeah, the damaging wind threat, we have a hatch risk for damaging winds. Once again, 70-plus mile-per-hour wind gusts. It seems quite likely, or quite possible, I should say, across these regions here with a 15% chance probability. So, also hail. Yeah, good news, no significant hail. Hail should remain between... like I said, hail should basically remain between quarter size or between 1 and 2 inches in diameter overall. But yeah, so that's that, y'all. That's today's risk. Now let's go ahead and touch up on the next couple of days here. I know a lot of y'all are wondering this. So here is tomorrow's threat. Nothing super wild. I mean, we have the continuation of that cold front, that low pressure system roll into the northeast here. A small shot for severe weather up there towards like as far north as southern Illinois, southwestern Indiana, western Kentucky, southeastern Missouri. Let's see here, western portions of Tennessee, eastern Arkansas, northwestern Mississippi, northern portions of Louisiana, and a little sliver up there in eastern Texas. Now, tornado probs, we do have a 2%, so there is a small chance for a couple isolated tornadoes tomorrow. Damaging winds, 5% chance, and hail, 5%. So it's a triple threat, but it's a very low risk probability. So the odds of severe weather, it's pretty low in a lot of these areas, but it's still a potential possibility. But here's where things get pretty bad, my friends. So this is for tomorrow, being Sunday, I believe. Let's see. Yep, Sunday tomorrow. So here's where things get a little crazy, y'all. So this is for the day of the eclipse. For day 3, here we go. This is the risk we got here for the eclipse day. So these areas that's in the dark green and the yellow, you guys are at risk regarding severe weather for the day of the eclipse. This is for April 8th. Now, obviously, right now, there's no breakdown between tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. They don't have that breakdown for day 3, or in this case, for April 8th. They don't have it quite yet. But regardless, though, we got a really big risk for severe weather, a huge slight risk. So areas out there in, like, really just across a lot of, like, like southern Missouri, going through like western Mississippi, through portions of Louisiana, a lot of Texas and Oklahoma there. That is our risk for the day of the eclipse. So unfortunately, down in these areas here, there's going to be a really good shot at seeing just a bunch of overcast skies. I hate to mention that to you guys, but it definitely seems like a really good probability. But yeah, so the greatest concern for severe weather here is for, like I said, for Monday, I should say, or the day of the eclipse, is going to be here throughout like central northern Texas through southern Oklahoma, and like I said, western portions of Louisiana is going to be in that risk area overall. But it's not over, y'all. Unfortunately, the risk continues. So here's for Tuesday, the day after the eclipse. Once again, Texas at risk. Southern Oklahoma there. Southern Arkansas. A lot of like Louisiana here is at risk. A little sliver of southwestern Mississippi. So that's for Tuesday. And then Wednesday, it continues eastward. More severe weather. Eastern Texas again. Southern Arkansas. All of Louisiana is in that risk. A lot of Mississippi and a little sliver of western, like I said, a little sliver of western Alabama. It ain't done yet. We're still going on. Here on the Wednesday, Thursday, my bad. Thursday for northern Florida, central southern Georgia, and just a bit of central and southern South Carolina. We got ourselves that risk continuing into Thursday. So, yeah, crazy. Next couple of days, it's just going to be one after another. So we're going to be super, super active over the next couple of days. I'm going to be live here for all these events. It's going to be a long week, unfortunately. With the eclipse coming up and stuff like that. I mean, really, the severe weather starting today. So I plan on being live for you guys later on today as well. Overall, but yeah. So that's what's going on there, y'all. That's the overall risks over the next couple of days. I mean, yeah. After that, we don't have anything. But it's just crazy, just how many days. Like for today, we got ourselves a slight risk tomorrow, the marginal, and then slight risk for Monday, the eclipse. Severe. Technically a slight risk for Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Thursday. Just definitely a very, very large risk. Let's go and take a look at the fire outlook. Wow. Apparently we got an extreme area. That's interesting. So we have like a pretty nasty concern for wildfires today up there in southeastern Wyoming, southwestern Kansas, a little bit of the panhandle of Oklahoma. An extreme. That's like the high risk for fire threat. So that's a bit of a problem. Yeah, obviously we got the critical threat as well across the red and the elevated. Pretty big threat out there regarding the fire outlook. Just thought I'd mention that because, you know, the risk is pretty wild. All right, my friends. I know I'm going to hop into something you guys are really going to be curious to see. We're going to look at the cloud cover for the day of the eclipse here. Let's just go ahead and hop on over to that, and then we'll get back to the severe weather risks and stuff like that. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop over here. They actually have an eclipse tab on this program, which I find amazing. Okay, so here we go. So we got more information. Let's see here. I have a little chart here. Shows the eclipse. Let's see. I wanted this so I could easily look at the time. So it looks like it's going to be kind of like an afternoon event for the eclipse from what it looks like. So let me see. So right around, let's see here, 10 a.m. So 4 p.m. Let's see here. So 4 p.m. Eastern time. I mean, it's kind of between those two. So yeah, so this is roughly what it's going to look like for the time of the eclipse. Unfortunately, like I was talking about, guys, whenever it comes to cloud cover, there's a lot of the south. You know, like I said, all of these areas here is going to be just obscured in clouds. You know, obviously some breaks possible, you know, like in Florida and, you know, some of those other areas about like eastern Tennessee. But, you know, it's going to be very heavy cloud cover across a lot of these areas like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, because we got that severe weather concern overall. So unfortunately, it's going to be pretty obscured regarding the view here. Same thing, you know, clouds do increase up there by like eastern, kind of northeastern Ohio. Regarding, like I said, cloud cover for the day of the eclipse there. The whole northern plains there, it's just going to be covered in a bunch of, like I said, just going to be covered in a bunch of clouds. But the best viewing places, guys, to see the eclipse is going to be throughout some of these areas here. So, for example, if you live in like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, my advice would be to travel north. I would go north. Just so that you can, you know, get a better view of this. Because, like I said, you're going to have a hard time viewing things down here. You really are. It's going to be a lot of hard time viewing things down here. A little bit more cloud cover up there towards, like, the eastern Ohio Valley. But there should, in theory, be a pretty a decent break out there by, like, Indiana. Like I said, western Ohio, maybe, like, western Kentucky, portions of Missouri. But then it starts getting heavier the more south you go. But, of course, like I said, the northeast, though, it looks like it's going to be perfectly clear. So if you live out there towards Maine, you know, Vermont, New Hampshire, northern New York, honestly, you guys will probably be in some pretty good viewing conditions. But, yeah, it's just, unfortunately, the worst conditions is going to be there in Texas. So, once again, my advice, just pull north. Just go north if you can. It's definitely a spectacular event that you definitely want to take off work for and see it. But, once again, if you're in Texas, not a good idea to stick around in Texas because of this, because, well, obviously it's going to be pretty cloudy. Let's see here. Anyways, but yeah, let's go ahead and get some of these questions here. Let me see. Diva says, thank you, Andrew. No problem. You're very welcome. Let's see here. They sent out alerts a little while ago. They're shutting off the power in parts of the border western Denver metro area because it went 100 mile per hour. Wow. No, we were definitely getting some strong winds. I tell you that. Let's go and hop y'all over here to this program here. So, yeah, that low pressure system is really starting to kind of kick off here. So, once again, here's our risk for the day, guys. Big slight risk or decent slight risk. Main concern here for severe weather today is going to be across Nebraska, Kansas, and Oklahoma. But, yeah, you can see that counterclockwise circulation. Strong low pressure system really starting to kick up there in the northeastern part of Colorado, which is going to start to drive a lot of warm air north. A lot of warm air advection is going to start to work its way up here towards the the Central Plains. So by later on this afternoon, by later on this evening here, it is going to be, regardless, it's going to be more potentially favorable for severe weather. Like I was saying, the line here, we're already starting to see some storms fire off here, and this is actually earlier than expected. This line was not expected to fire off here. At least until the next 2 hours. It was expected right around like 4 p.m. And storms they're already starting to fire off here. So a little bit of an early initiation. But like I was mentioning here regarding like the data and everything like that, like the MEDAR station data and all of that stuff, honestly, yeah, it's really not looking like it's super favorable for crazy severe weather right now, which is, why the storms right now are currently not severe. But yeah, a lot of the station plots here are showing those dew points extremely low, which they need to be a lot higher if they want to do some really crazy stuff. But I mean, there you go. I mean, we got some storms though. We do got a little bit of storm activity popping off. Let's see here. What's the thoughts on day 6? Table. It's pretty far away, man. I mean, we're still several days away. I mean, we got today, tomorrow, the day after, the day after that, the day after that. I mean, we're talking Thursday, and today's Saturday. There's a lot of time for changes. So, like I said, looking into models for that specific time frame right now would not be very reliable. But what I can do for you guys is I can actually pull up the models regarding today. Since today we got some pretty good model data and stuff like that. Like I was mentioning here, I mean, we don't have a whole lot of instability. Look at that. It's just amazing. We don't have a whole lot of instability. We got enough to get some storms rolling. Just really a thin line here. But what really makes this event significant is these winds. I mean, these lower level winds are screaming, which really does give this tornado potential. I mean, look at that cyclone right there. Really, really amplifying those lower level winds, which would allow it to, here's our mid-level winds, would really allow it for severe weather to become quite organized overall. Now, let's just grab a sounding or two. We're just going to take a look at the sample of the atmosphere and see what we're kind of looking out there for. So let's just grab one right over here, just in that break in the cap. So we'll see. What's up, Aiden? Hope you're doing good, my friend. Let's see here. Wow, that is a messy photograph. Yeah, I mean, once again, y'all, I mean, today's concern, mostly, we're going to hop y'all back over here. So once again, yeah, today's concern mostly is going to be for actually damaging winds. We have this little area here, this little 15% hatch risk region throughout south central Nebraska, north central Kansas. Like I said, this region here, we're going to see the possibility of these storms producing maybe 70+ mile an hour winds, which is pretty significant, of course. And of course, we have that tornado threat. Once again, across the dark green, I mean, it's nothing super wild. While there is a small chance for tornadoes, like I said, the odds are extremely low for one of you guys to see a tornado. So it's something you shouldn't ignore, but it's something you shouldn't stress over. It's something you shouldn't freak out about because, like I said, these 2% risk areas, I mean, while they're there and there's a possibility, a small chance, the odds are very low. But, just remain weather aware. Like I said, I'm going to go live later on this evening to cover this with you guys overall. But yeah, man, so out there, so the tornado threat goes as far south as central Oklahoma, portions out there by central kind of eastern Kansas. We got ourselves, that small tornado probability too. Moving our way here into Nebraska, that's where the threat kind of tops out. It's the top of the threat here. We even do got a little 5% risk area. So out there by north, was it? Oh, shoot, I forgot what everybody said what it was. North Platte. Maybe North Platte, I don't know. Lexington, Kearney, Pleasanton, Oconto, Broken Bow. We have Arnold. Some of those regions there in that area in south central Nebraska. That's our greatest concern for tornadoes because that's where we're going to have some of the most instability mixing in with a lot of wind shear, which is going to give the conditions favorable for tornadic activity. So that's the greatest probability. And once again, that goes all the way down to Oklahoma. So just keep it out there for that. Regarding hail, it's pretty similar to the damaging wind threat of things. We got ourselves that 15% risk area down there in the yellow. So that's a 15% risk regarding hail, potentially 1 to 2 inches in diameter. So, for example, like I was mentioning here, like I said, we'll take Salina again for an example. So, say you live in Salina, right? So, you're in the yellow risk area. So, within 25 miles, obviously this is not the scale, but within 25 miles of Salina, there is a 15% chance that somewhere in that region we could get hail basically between 1 and 2 inches in diameter. So within 25 miles of Salina or just any given area in the yellow, there's a 15% chance regarding the potential out there for hail, like I was mentioning. And once again, the same thing's kind of the relatively similar threat for damaging winds. The wind threat does go a little more northeast, as you can see in that 15% zone. But yeah, same thing applies. 15% chance of seeing damaging winds. In this case, actually 70 plus across the yellow, which, like we were mentioning, we do have that hatch risk regarding damaging winds. So yeah, across this region here, y'all, this circling area in south central Nebraska, kind of out there by like north central Kansas, we do got ourselves a really good risk regarding damaging winds, from this line. I mean, already based off of like current observations and stuff like that, looking at those surface plots, I mean, these wind barbs here, we're talking already 40 knots sustained. So we're talking some really strong winds, a really strong warm air push here, which is driving up a lot of the warm air up in the Nebraska right now, which will obviously only increase that potential for severe weather as we continue down later on this afternoon and into the evening here overall. So yeah, conditions will get a lot better. Once again, it really doesn't look super impressive. Yeah, look at that on radar. If we do the loop here, it honestly looks like that convection's kind of breaking up here. So once again, the conditions out in this area right now are just not really supportive for crazy severe weather. This is why they're not currently severe warned, is because, well, they're not severe. They're kind of weak storms. But once again, that'll change as we continue into this afternoon and into the evening. And like I said, here's actually the satellite view, current sat view out there. You can already see that big wall of thick cloud cover from that front there starting to kick off overall. And I mean, everything's starting to kick off a bit. We also do have a bit of lightning activity in that line as well. If we actually scroll down back in time a little bit, you can start to see that lightning activity starting to pop up there. So, yeah, I mean, while there's going to be a bit of lightning on that, currently it's not severe. And the models, we'll hop back over here to the models, regarding the timing and stuff like that. Let's see what we'll go ahead and bring up. Precipitation, simulated reflectivity. Yeah, so, I mean, you can see here, according to this model here at 20 Zulu, current time is, well, my thing's broken, 18 Zulu currently. So right around like 20 Zulu, so this would be right on 4 or 5 o'clock. That's whenever the model had these storms firing off there. But it's really not until like 22 Zulu, basically 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 Central. I'm thinking that's whenever a lot of the stuff is going to start to pop off. I mean, you can see at this point here for 5 Central, how we could get this kind of line of storms developing out there, between like Oklahoma, throughout Kansas, and portions of Nebraska here overall. And we continue into 6 o'clock Central Time. Continue to see that 7 o'clock, 8, 9, 10, and yeah, right around late evening, you can kind of see how everything just kind of falls apart. Everything just kind of dies out there right around the late evening, but it's definitely a very unique kind of system here. It's very interesting, and the reason that we're getting such strong storms here is because of that strong low pressure system. I mean, it's pretty wild to look at, because if I hop over to these models here and I show you guys, let's see, HRRR, same model, but we'll just pull this one up here. Let's see here. Let's go to, I guess we'll go to the United States view, and we'll look at the, where's it at? Humidity, I guess we'll use. Yeah, so you can actually see here, if I hop back to 12 Zulu, load these. Yeah, but watch closely. Watch closely to the Central Plains. I mean, just look at that. See that, like, really crazy storm system here. I mean, it's just very, very strong low, kicking off the Rockies, and just bringing up, once again, a whole lot of moisture, bringing up a whole lot of instability and stuff like that. And it's just, yeah, given those conditions a run for, just given that potential there. So, like I said, on the big scale of things, what's going on, and on the big scale is, well, first of all, we have that low pressure system. This is later on this evening. We got that low pressure system out there in the Central Plains, and we're getting a whole lot of moisture A lot of warm air that's really kicking up there from the Gulf Coast. Really kicking off there from the Gulf. So that's bringing up a bunch of warm air, bringing up a bunch of moisture along with it. And then, obviously, the higher up here, it's cooler, right? So, the higher you get away from the sun, less direct sunlight, cooler air will actually start to pull in from the backside. And, right there is your front. So, yeah, just a big change in temperatures, too. You're going to definitely notice a big fluctuation here. Oh, we just got a mesoscale discussion, actually. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, wow. Okay, so we just got ourselves an update, y'all. From the Storm Prediction Center. Actually, I might even be able to pull this up for you guys. So if you don't know what a mesoscale discussion is, it is a discussion from the forecasters in Norman, Oklahoma. I don't even know if it's available yet on the main page. If not, I'll pull up on Twitter. Okay, it's not there. So yeah, let me pull up my Twitter here, and we'll show you guys the Storm Prediction Center here. Yeah, so they did issue a mesoscale discussion. So what that is basically saying is that they're considering to issue a watch. Here we go. Perfect. There you are. So yeah, a few supercells increasingly likely by 4 to 6 p.m. Central Time, accompanied by increasing severe weather risk. So yeah, there's that low pressure system we were talking about, that really strong low, with all that, that northerly advection there. Definitely is interesting, but you can't see it because my camera. Here, let me hide my camera for a minute so you guys can see the full thing. So there you go. So you can see watch probability. They put 60% chance. So more than likely, we're getting ready to get a severe thunderstorm watch here. I said within the hour, within an hour or two. This is not going to immediately be issued, but you can already start to see how this low pressure system is really tightening up here. So. We'll definitely, like I said, I'm going to be live here later on today, guys, too. This is more of like an update regarding today's risks and stuff like that. So we'll go more into coverage mode later on today. But yeah, so once again, just a really, really complex or really interesting system per se is what I should really say. But yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on it. But yeah, you can really see that spiraling motion. And actually, if I hop to NAM here and take this a little further down in time, you can just see how this thing just kind of does some funky stuff. But yeah, so we'll have to watch out there for that, y'all. Definitely we'll keep an eye on the severe weather here for today. Once again, the main concern for today's risk area is going to be, once again, winds. We got that hatch risk for winds. So across that black netted area, guys, up there in south central Nebraska, and into portions like north central Kansas, this area right here, we got a shot for 70+ mile-an-hour winds. And if you actually look at this here, look at that. So hatched area, greater probability of wind gusts 65 knots or greater across that hatched area. So that's the hatch area right there. In which, yeah, 65 knots. That's actually about like 75 miles an hour. Actually, that's like 75 plus. Wouldn't be surprised if we did get some wind gusts over 80 today in some of these storms. So already the winds are very strong out here. This is interesting. We just got a severe thunderstorm warning up there in northeastern Colorado. Wow, that is really interesting. Yeah, let's hop over there real quickly and see what we got going on here. It's in really a non-populated area. There's not too many areas here. Let's see, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, 0.75 inch hail. Interesting. Wow. Let's see, our dew points very low, 40, like lower 40s. That's like some super crazy. Yeah, you really don't. Obviously the dew points can be a lot lower for these areas here, due to a number of things that we're not going to get into right now. But geography has a lot to do with some storm activity, and dew points in this area can be a lot lower, but it's just crazy. Lower 40s. That's very low dew points. Regarding this system here. But look at this. We already have a lot of reports here of some really strong winds. 60 mile an hour wind there from a mesonet, 58, 55, 50, 53, 55, 51. The winds are really screaming. Let's see. We got some more out there by Texas. 60, 58, 59, 60, 58, 58, 60, 55, 53 ahead of it. It's, yeah, definitely really starting to pop up there. But anyways, but yeah, back over here to the SPC, like I was saying, yeah, that's our hatch risk for that. Damaging winds, that's the main concern. Followed by hail. Like I said, hail though, in the good news, like I said, while there is a shot for some hail, the hail should be between 1 and 2 inches in diameter. It shouldn't exceed anything 2 inches or greater. It shouldn't. Once again, it should be between like 1, maybe 2 inches in diameter overall. Tornado probability, we got ourselves, like I said, that little 5% risk area. So out there in Nebraska, across the Brown here, that's where we have a decent tornado risk. I mean, it's nothing absolutely crazy. It's not like a tornado outbreak or anything like that, but it's still a decent risk regarding potential for a couple tornadoes being possible. Now the dark green, like I was mentioning, that's the lowest risk that they can actually issue regarding tornado probability. While it isn't something to worry about, isn't something to panic or freak out over, it's something you really shouldn't ignore. I mean, obviously keep an eye on the radar and keep an eye on the weather. Watch out for warnings and stuff like that get issued. If you have a weather radio, turn it on, of course. But yeah, like I was mentioning here, though, I mean, it's pretty low odds. I mean, across that whole green area, there's a possibility we could just see a couple tornadoes. I mean, maybe 2. I mean, obviously the exact number is not really known, but low amount of tornadic activity in that whole dark green area, with the greatest, a little more heavier towards that brown area. So once again, nothing to freak out about, but we'll just definitely keep an eye out there for it over the next little bit. But yeah, that's today's threat, y'all. I mean, once again, main concern for Nebraska, for Kansas, for portions like Oklahoma, definitely is kind of where we have that greatest potential there. Wow, look at this, y'all. I don't know if this works still. Here's what I can do. Let me do this. Perfect. There we go. Yep, there's some surface observations there. I mean, look at this. Look at all these winds here, dude. I mean, so the red line, that's your that should change in pressure, and so you can already really see where these winds are coming from. So if we zoom in here, zoom out here, you can actually see how these wind barbs, really pulling in a lot of warm air. So from the Gulf, where the Gulf is a lot warmer, it's really just bringing in a lot of warm air throughout the region here. And our low pressure system is located right here. And you can actually see on the backside how these winds are kind of undercutting that low. So, everything's lining up there. I mean, just in current observations, you can see all that northerly advection there. But yeah, no, that low pressure system is quite strong. I mean, let's see, I might even be able to pull up the altimeter here. Sorry, not altimeter, the sea level pressure. If I can even find it. Here we go. MSLP plot. So I'll go ahead and load this. I might need to shoot. You know what? Give me 1 minute, y'all. I gotta set it up here real quick. But yeah, no, I'll be able to show you guys like the low and how strong it is. Let's try this now. Here we go. Okay, so this should work now. Go and bring this up here and load it up there. So if I go back a frame or two, maybe it's not working. Let's try this. There we go. Boom. Yeah, so there you go. So yeah, you can really see those pressure plots now. This was at 18 Zulu, which about 30 minutes ago. 993 millibars, 994, 989, 992, 993, 994. So we're talking like lower 990s, which that is considered a pretty strong low pressure system there. That is definitely considered a pretty strong low pressure system. In which, steep pressure gradient, as you can see here. So this is the distance between 2 millibars of pressure, each red line. The closer those are together, the quicker the change in pressure over a shorter distance, which increases the wind speeds. So we just got really strong winds, really just bringing, I mean, the winds are really strong, and it's actually really just bringing up a lot of warm air. Due to these strong winds, it's actually moving the air up north really, really quickly. So this is supplying the warm air that's going to be used for the storms to really get going, which we can already start to see a little bit of stuff happening here, but still a little far from severe on that line there. But things are going to start going here. I mean, they've been really cranking here for the last little bit, but when it comes to it, though, I mean, she's definitely she's starting to go. Maybe you can see here, if I go ahead and actually load or just play this in motion, you can just see that cyclonic that cyclonic motion just based off of the radar there, which is pretty cool actually. it's a pretty neat system. It is pretty neat, but once again, all hazards are going to be possible. And, I see why they have that 5% risk for tornadoes up there. Typically sometimes on, like, the very far northeast quadrant near the nose of the low pressure system, that is where you can get some of the greatest tornadic activity, in which, so the greatest probability for tornadoes here today will be up in, like, southwestern Nebraska. Obviously, like I said, the risk for tornadoes does go all the way down, even into, like, Oklahoma as well. That we'll definitely keep it out there for that. So we'll see. Let's see. Do I think this event will start early if the convection's early? Obviously, yeah, we did get a few storms that started popping off there, but it's still going to take a little bit of time for those dew points and those temperatures to rise a little bit. Therefore, it just increasing that probability regarding severe weather and stuff like that. So, the storms, like I was mentioning on this line, are not doing good. They blew up. I mean, they started convecting, obviously, and they were heavy rain for a little bit, and then now it's just kind of a bunch of moderate rain, and it's kind of died out. But it will pick back up later on this evening, in which we'll do some live coverage for you guys later today in order to help you guys out, be weather aware and stuff like that. But so guys, put in chat where y'all are from. I mean, are you guys in Nebraska? Is any of y'all in Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma? Just let us know where you're at. That'd be pretty cool, so we can see kind of where we're forecasting for. But just be careful, guys. And like I was mentioning, the greatest concern today will be winds. Following hail and then that tornado threat. Like I was saying, if you live in an area that's really in that wind threat, just like I said, just essentially bring any loose objects inside. I mean, say you have some like loose lawn furniture and stuff like that, outside. Just bring it indoors until this event's over, because like I said, it's definitely going to be pretty heavy. Regarding those winds. I mean, they're already strong, and these storms haven't even happened. It's just really strong northerly, I should say in this case, northwesterly wind shear. Let's see here. Got Oklahoma, got Alabama, got Texas, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas. Wow, all over the place, man. That's pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right, so we do got one warning out there, just for some gusty winds, but honestly, nothing surprising. Nothing super crazy, but yeah, and also not really in any towns actually. Because if I bring all over here, there's not even a town in that. Just a little bit of Highway 76, but yeah, really not anything super crazy. Anyways, but all right, y'all. Well, we're gonna probably head off here soon. Like I said, we're just doing a little bit of an update for you guys. We're gonna go live again later today. We're gonna go live here in I'm not sure. It'll probably be later this evening. Let's see here. Let me bring up the models again, and I'll go ahead and show you all what time we're gonna go live here. So I'm gonna shoot for. See, let me actually pull up the late. Yeah, I wasn't on the latest one there. So let's see. I'm gonna probably try to be live here at 22 Zulu. So that is, see, it's 18 Zulu. So 22 Zulu will be about 6 Eastern. So yeah, so I'll go live right around 6 o'clock Eastern time, guys. So expect me to be live around that time. So 6 p.m. Eastern time, 5 Central. Storm should be well underway at that point, so I will be live for you guys at that time. Let's see here. Am I going to go live tomorrow? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'll be giving you guys updates tomorrow, too. One last time. Go ahead and close this editor here. So one last time here, I'll go ahead and go over the outlooks, guys, because, like I was mentioning, we'll go over the eclipse real quickly, too. So before I head off here, we're going to head off in about maybe 10 minutes or so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the overall outlooks. We're going to go over this real quick, and then we'll go over the cloud cover for the eclipse and stuff like that, and then we'll head off here. So once again, yeah, today's threat consists of the severe potential out there in central eastern Oklahoma, central eastern Kansas, and a lot of Nebraska. The greatest probability for severe weather today will be up there in north central Kansas and central and south central Nebraska. Tornado probability will be greatest up in southwestern Nebraska with a 5% chance regarding tornado probability. The overall tornado probability goes all the way down to basically south central Oklahoma. Goes all the way up here into basically northern Nebraska here. So once again, across the dark green, it's a relatively low threat regarding tornadic activity. It's nothing to freak out about, nothing to worry about, nothing to stress over. But, still be weather aware. Just have a way to receive warnings, which, like I said, I'll be live later on today. So if we do get anything crazy going on, I'll be here for you guys. 5% chance, once again, greatest probability. Keep it out there for that area. Damaging winds, 15% risk out there. We have the possibility in this area in south central Nebraska, kind of north central Kansas, of seeing damaging winds basically 70 plus miles an hour. So really going to watch out there for that. 15% chance here, 5% chance here, across the brown, which is a relatively low threat, just an isolated concern. Overall. And of course, hail, 15% chance as well, 5% chance across the brown. Now, we work our way over into tomorrow. Just got a marginal as far north as southern Illinois, going all the way down to East Texas. We do got a tornado concern, 2%. 5% chance for damaging winds, 5% chance for hail overall here for day 3. Now, this is for the day of the eclipse, guys. So, for the day of the eclipse here, we got a big severe weather risk for Texas, southern Oklahoma, western Louisiana, southwestern Arkansas here. And we do have ourselves the dark green here, which is the level 1 threat all the way across like southern Missouri. So, if you're in the dark green or the yellow, you're at risk for severe weather the day of the eclipse here overall. The light green just says a couple thunderstorms possible. So, yeah, but if you live up there in Texas, as you're going to see, it's probably not going to be the best area for viewing the eclipse, as we'll look here in a minute. But, yeah, just know that there's severe weather out there. There's no breakdown right now. They do have a hatch risk for something, but we'll keep an eye out for that. Day 4 to 8, so here we go. So we work our way over into Tuesday. Once again, Texas is at risk for severe weather, southern Oklahoma, southern Nebraska. Man, sorry, not Nebraska. I've been saying Nebraska so much today. Southern Arkansas and portions out there in Louisiana and western Mississippi here for Tuesday. Move away into Wednesday here, y'all. Another risk for eastern Texas. Texas is going to be getting hit here in the next couple of days. Southern Arkansas, all of Louisiana at risk here. A lot of Mississippi, western Alabama at risk here for Wednesday. And then we move our way into Thursday. It's not over yet, my friends. Northern Florida, a lot of central southern Georgia, and central and southern portions here of South Carolina will be at risk regarding severe weather. And for day 7, predictability is too low. Day 8, potential is too low. So predictability too low, meaning it's still a little early to tell. Potential too low, meaning it's not expected to be severe. So anyway, so that's that. And lastly, you guys, let's go ahead and head on over here to the eclipse. The eclipse, stuff like that. So we're going to look at the cloud cover regarding the eclipse here. So here we go. Here's the map for the eclipse, guys. The greatest potential for cloud cover, unfortunately, is going to be down there towards like Texas, Louisiana, portions of Mississippi, maybe Arkansas, Oklahoma. Should have a little bit more of an opening out there by like, the western Ohio Valley, out there by like the northern Midwest here, and the northeastern U.S., also a little bit of a clear area there for good viewing. But of course, we got ourselves a bit more cloud cover out there towards like Buffalo area, basically like eastern Ohio, portions out there like western Pennsylvania, western New York State, and stuff like that. But yeah, there's your eclipse cloud cover. So greatest potential for viewing is going to be in these areas here, and obviously a lot of cloud cover is going to be expected across these areas overall. So, like I said, if you live in Texas, any area like Louisiana, I would recommend shooting north, maybe towards the Midwest. That way you guys can just see it a little better and overall. So But yeah, that's that, you guys. So that's all the risk areas we got right now, and that's the cloud cover and everything like that regarding the eclipse, and stuff like that. So honestly, like I said, we're looking a little active over the next couple of days. Unfortunately, it is looking a little bit a little bit active there overall, but yeah, but we'll keep you all updated on it. Obviously it's still 2 days away. There's at this point we're kind of getting dialed in on the clouds and stuff like that, but honestly, yeah, it's looking pretty locked in for clouds down there, and a bit up there towards like the eastern Ohio Valley overall. So we'll definitely be here for y'all to talk about all that and stuff. But one more last look at the radar. Yeah, those storms are definitely breaking up a bit. We did get a little bit of early convection there. Honestly, I feel like I don't know if that's going to help in any way. It could even hurt development later on. We'll see. I mean, obviously, there's still a little bit of time for that warm air to pull up north. I mean, our dew points are pretty daggone low right now. Our temperatures are rising, of course. So, those conditions are starting to get a little better in the region. But we'll definitely watch out there for y'all. Dew points in the panhandle of Oklahoma are 7 degrees. Are they really? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Wow. What do you mean 7? I see 4 and 3 degrees on some of those MEDAR stations there. Instead of negative 20 degrees, that's not right. That's not right. Negative 20 degree dew point. 22 degrees. Is that right? No. That's not right at all. Yeah, look at that. So our station south of that, it's like, yeah, 18 degrees. Yeah, that's just a little bit of a liar. A liar of a station. But anyways, all right, y'all. Well, we'll catch y'all later on today. We're going to head off here for now. This was just a bit of an update. We're reaching that hour mark anyways. So it is our time to head off here for now. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. That way you guys will get alerted and stuff like that whenever we do go live. It's free. Just hit that red button, or really that white button down below. It says subscribe. It's really, like I said, it's free. It's nothing you got to pay for. I mean, just consider it at least. I'm not going to force you to do that. Consider leaving a like as well to help boost the channel and stuff like that. So it would be greatly appreciated. But once again, everybody, y'all be safe out there today. We'll catch y'all later on. I'm thinking 6 p.m. Eastern is when I'm going to go live to cover some of this event here. Probably not going to be live super long on the event, but we'll at least be there for a little bit, just kind of see what's going on there overall. But alrighty, you guys. Well, you all take care. You guys have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. Once again, if you have any loose objects out there between like Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, anything loose that could easily get blown around, just bring it indoors. And just, obviously all that stuff. Just bring it indoors until the event's over, and then just put it back out there. But just for now, bring everything loose indoors if you have anything that could easily be blown around, just to prevent, first of all, damage to your objects, you losing your object, but also, like, say you have something that's loose outside, and it could cause damage to other things outside. So just bring everything indoors that's loose, and then, of course, we'll pick back up on this later on today, guys. But alrighty, y'all. Well, you guys take care. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and hop over to our donators here. See if we had any donations. Let's see. I don't think we had any donators today. Nope. We actually had me. I donated to my own channel. I was curious to see if we could actually donate to the channel you own. So honestly, pretty funny. But no donators today. But anyways, that is totally fine. Once again, I'm not in it for the money. I don't really care. I just want to make sure you guys are weather updated. That is all that matters. And all right, you guys. Well, y'all take care. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Y'all absolutely rock. We love y'all. And once again, we'll be live here later on here for today. Right around 6 o'clock Eastern time, 5 Central is the plan. Could be a little earlier. Could be a little later. We'll see. But that's the plan as of now. But all right, y'all. You guys take care. Stream's heading off here in approximately 2 minutes. So go ahead and say goodbye to your friends, family, anybody you're hanging out with in the chat. And alrighty, you guys. Well, you all take care. Y'all be safe out there, and we'll see ya later on. Peace out, my friends. See you then.